I love classic Christmas. I think it will never go out of style. I love being a part of people's lasting traditions.
House-made gingerbread, we are looking at over 400 pounds of dough. Can't forget about the icing. So we did over 150 pounds of icing.
The holiday season is a special time at Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. In this episode of the Barefoot Podcast, we'll introduce you to some of the people who help us deck the halls.
We have a team of elves here who really help put on this entire Christmas and holiday display for us here at the resort. But I am joined by we're going to call you the head elf, Miss Meg Petrulia, who's part of our marketing department. And for the last couple of years, you really have brought this Christmas display to life. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it starts about mid-summer, where I just kind of start thinking of the goal and like the vision of what the lobby's going to look like. And it starts really just with the big tree that you see behind us. That's the centerpiece of everything that we do. And then once we get to November, I have one crazy week of a lot of people helping me, and we somehow make it look absolutely magical.
So let's start with the tree. 19-foot Christmas tree. Like you said, it really is the centerpiece to all of our decor. You walk into our lobby, it's one of the first things you see. It's the backdrop to so many families and people's photos, and it's beautiful. It takes a long time to put that together. You're up on a lift doing it. You have engineering, you have grounds, you have so many people helping you. I mean, talk about what it takes to put together this 19-foot Christmas tree.
So it starts with grounds. The tree actually is like a steel structure that comes together, and it's stored down at grounds. So, my people that help me down at grounds, they bring it up, and it's basically a empty frame structure. And so it starts with that, and then after that, once the top of the tree is put on, it's all the way up there at the top, and to get up there we have to use a lift, and it's safe enough. I mean, it's safe to have two people up there, but we usually just have one, and I'm the only one that drives the lift up there, so it's typically me just going around and around and around just the very tip top of the tree with helpers down on at the base here, basically being able to tell me whether or not things are looking okay. After that, I know this year one of our biggest challenges, and a big challenge just with a tree this size, is the electricity, because there's so many lights on this thing, and I think people kind of underestimate each of our individual branches that we have all have their own plug and their own lights. So that's kind of where engineering came in this year. I needed so much help just making sure that each of the different branches were attached to each other, so that by the time we got to the bottom to plug the whole tree in, everything was lit. So engineering was a huge help with that, just making sure that once the branches were on, that it was actually lit up. So they helped a ton with that. They also helped with lift maintenance and that kind of thing. And then once we get the midsection on and people can reach from the ground, it goes super fast. Then I can have 10 plus people just filling in the tree and filling in different things, and I can kind of stand back and watch at that point, which is really fun, because it is nice to be able to have something like that just be completed in such a quick, fun manner. So yeah.
And the colors on the tree this year are very traditional.
Yes.
You come in and you've got your Christmas and holiday reds, the gold, some silver. I mean, it's a beautiful piece right here that looks very just classic and traditional for the holidays.
Yeah, I love classic Christmas. I think it will never go out of style. I think people get so, it's fun to do themes, and I think, I love, if I had the ability to do different themes every single year and not, spend way too much money, I would love to, but I do think classic Christmas really just brings everybody back to their childhood. So
one of my favorite parts about the tree too, and they're kind of scattered throughout the lobby area here, but the base of it's surrounded by bright red poinsettias, which are absolutely beautiful. So it truly is a masterpiece and the centerpiece to our entire display here. But there's so many other little kind of nice points around here. We have the fireplace here in the lobby, and that's always going on in the wintertime, and so many people sit around there. So you've got that. The front desk looks absolutely beautiful with the snow behind it and the wreath around our logo, and all those spots where most people come, and it's kind of their first visits and sites here on property. But you mentioned the giant blow-up ornament bulbs, which are down our Gallery of Shops hallways, and this is only our second year having those, and they're a hit. They're one of everyone's favorite pieces.
I love them because they are classic, right? It's just an ornament, right? It's not complicated. It's so easy to store, and they're kind of timeless, right? They will last for years and years to come, and especially just like on top of the bar and right in front of us, like it's just a simple kind of statement piece when people walk in, and they're so easy to put up. Engineering did those as well. They did all the ones on the top of the bar and all down the gallery of shops. They helped me with it last year, so doing it this year was like riding a bike. So I'm really proud of discovering those last year and then being able to put them into use because they're really cool.
And you said they fill in a big area,
yes,
too, which is nice. Mm-hmm. So they are down the gallery of shops hallway. They're hanging from the ceiling. They look like they're giant blow-up ornament bulbs. Mm-hmm. So they're fun. But you keep bringing up a lot of different departments who help you with all of this. And I know it does not go unnoticed, but engineering, the golf and grounds crew who also do our outdoor lights mm-hmm. and string the trees, housekeeping who comes through here. I mean, there's so many different people mm-hmm. who help make this come to life. And there's so many things you wouldn't be able to do mm-hmm. with your team of volunteers if it wasn't for those extra departments and people who are kind of skilled in handling some of those responsibilities.
Yep. And I had people who helped me last year that came in this year and just knew what to do, and they were able to delegate and help. You know, they knew where to put all the white birch trees. They knew where to put the garland around the stairs. So it was almost like same thing with them riding a bike, almost like they could just help other people while I was, at the top of the lift. They could help figure out where to put things and, where to place things from last year just because of their experience with doing it last year. So I wouldn't be able to do it without everybody. I mean, so many departments were represented, and it was so cool to see. So.
And then really the newest thing this year, which again I think is so many people's new favorite spot, is Santa's Workshop. We took one of our empty spaces in the gallery of shops and we turned it into Santa's Workshop, and mm-hmm. it looks incredible. And how special is that? We were just here one of the weekends when mm-hmm. he's here visiting the kids on those Saturdays, to see him in that space and have everyone go in there and take pictures and mm-hmm. drop off their letters. And as we're collecting Toys for Tots donations, how special is it to have that individual space for Santa and families to gather and go and visit him as they do kind of for their traditions?
It's really cool. I think one of the things I was thinking about when we were here on Saturday, seeing Santa with these families, this thing that we created, this room that we created is essentially the backdrop, and it's going to be a picture that will last in some people's family albums for forever, stuff like that. It's that's crazy to think about, and it's just so cool to see. I mean, that it was a storefront before, and it was the perfect spot for him because it keeps him in a really designated area, and we can keep the windows open so people can see in there, and it's kind of becomes a part of the Christmas display because you can see inside of it. But then it does offer a little bit more intimate experience with Santa, which was really what I saw this weekend. It felt very intimate, but it's cool to see it all and actually happening when you're making it and you see the finished product, but it's not really the finished product until Santa's actually there and there's kids visiting and that kind of thing. So I'm really proud of how that ended up working out, and I'm excited. We still have 2 more Saturdays with Santa. So.
And there's nothing better than truly being here when all the families are here and the kids are here and guests to the hotel or those who live locally. I mean, this place is open for everyone. You can come by just to check out mm-hmm. the holiday decorations and, again, visit with Santa and go in the gallery of shops and all of that. You don't have to be staying at the resort to experience all of this. And we hear that from a lot of people just local to Traverse City or families who travel up here year after year. This place, these decorations, this experience is part of their family traditions and their holiday during the Christmas season, and that's just a really special thing. And so to be part of kind of putting that on and giving people that, I mean, it's a true experience.
Yeah, it totally is. I love being a part of, being a small part of people's lasting traditions.
Yeah, it's really special here. I think one area we didn't talk too much about, but that's because it is thanks to our bakery team, is we have our life-size homemade, real gingerbread house back on display in the lobby. It is also a show-stopping piece, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that with our head pastry chef, Lisa Clark. One of everyone's favorite pieces of our entire holiday display is our real homemade gingerbread house. It's right here in our lobby, and this is brought to you by our pastry chef, Lisa Clark, and her incredible team.
Hello, Caroline.
Lisa, this is a labor of love.
Yes. So our team, culinary and the bakery, we started the last week of October, so around Halloween. We have made and produced over 400 pounds of gingerbread. And not only gingerbread, but we can't forget about the icing. So we did over 150 pounds of icing. So it was a big process. We have to make all of the gingerbread. So we started making it, chilling it. We rolled it out. We baked it. We let it dry for probably 2 to 3 weeks.
I think a lot of people come in here not realizing that it is real gingerbread,
Yes.
and you can smell it. So I wish
can
everyone
still
could
smell it.
I
It's a
still
few
smell it
weeks
too,
old,
right? You'd
and-
think you'd almost be immune to it by now, walking
Yeah.
around here so much.
Yes.
But no, the gingerbread scent is so strong. It's so, I mean, it smells delicious. But it is real gingerbread, real frosting, obviously real
Yes.
candies on there. There's a wooden frame that I think
There
engineering
is.
helps you guys put together.
Yes. Yeah.
And how do you guys go about? So I mean, when you look at a gingerbread house, they are so intricate, especially this one. It's not just, a dozen or so giant pieces of gingerbread put together. It's small little like brick
Right.
squares and rectangles.
Right. So certain areas of the gingerbread, we can plaster on the roof. Those are bigger pieces. But then you have the windows and some smaller little, arches that you have to cut down or you have to measure. So the windows are all pre-measured, and the door. So yeah.
So how do you go about kind of envisioning the gingerbread house? How do
Yes.
you come up with a theme? Do you come up with a look that you're going for?
So yeah, between like designs online, I get with my crew and I ask them what they would like to do. So we started with brick on the bottom, and then they wanted to do some stone texture. So we put that on the top and as well as the chimney. So
The smokestack,
Yes.
the chimney smokestack is so cool. And I know
Yes.
someone from engineering had the idea of taking some of our snow
I love it.
and hanging it from the roof with fishing lines so it just looks like smoke coming out of that
Yes.
homemade smokestack.
And the way they put the snow on little, random spots on the roof, it looks all great put together.
So what are the numbers again for fresh gingerbread dough and frosting? Because it is all homemade, so it's incredible
So,
stuff.
house-made gingerbread, we are looking at over 400 pounds of dough. So to give you a little idea, that is about 72 pounds of block butter. So those are 1 pound block butters. And we ran over 36 pounds of eggs and over 200 pounds of pastry flour to make that happen.
Wow, that is a lot of work.
Yes.
And you do. I mean, there's days you had 6, 7, 8 people down in the bakery just rolling pin that dough, cutting
Yes.
out the squares, laying it on the baking tray.
Yes, a lot of labor. You kind of get a workout too with all that rolling. So yeah, but our staff, some of them come from other countries. It was their first time, so it was a big experience for them, and I'm glad I could give them that opportunity.
Yeah, what a unique kind of project to be part of then for the holiday season. Plus then at days you had a dozen people up here helping build that thing because it takes a while because you have to wait right for the frosting to kind of help
You do.
harden and stick. You can't just do it all at once. It takes a process.
Yes, it is a little bit time consuming because that frosting takes a minute or two to really glue onto that wood. So you just got to hold it on there. But you have Christmas music in the lobby, so that's really nice to kind of just do your own thing and, groove to the music.
What is one of your favorite parts? I think you get, like you said, when you were building it, and then afterwards, so many people coming in to look at it and talk about it. And what compliments do you hear that you love about doing this?
Oh man, I love the beautiful things that they say about the gingerbread. They come in and they are so excited. They have the smell. They see the look of the house. They want to take their pictures, so we let them snap a picture of us, and it really brings in that holiday spirit. So
It's a special piece. I think it
Yes.
truly is. Next to the 19-foot Christmas tree and right here in the lobby with everything else. I mean, you walk in, you are greeted by the smell. People's eyes just go right towards it
Oh,
and
they
have
really
so many
do light
questions.
up.
They do.
Yes.
It's beautiful. Well, congratulations to you and your team.
Thank
you
you.
for all the work. I mean,
Thank
again,
you.
dozens of you at times from culinary, the bakery, all helping put this thing together.
Yes.
Well, it's awesome, and it's one of our favorite pieces here for the holidays at the resort.
Well, thank
So
you.
thank you to you and your team. And if you are interested in coming and checking out all of our Christmas decorations, visiting Santa, the Christmas buffet up in Erie, or even New Year's Eve, we've got all that information for the holiday season at the resort on our website, plus more episodes of the Barefoot podcast. Just go to grandtraversresort.com.